Hey, what's up everybody? Prospector here with Watcher of Realms. Welcome to the channel. Guys, as you probably know, there's an exclusive Lucky Pick banner coming up tomorrow, and I wanted to go out and put my own tier list. Everybody seems to be putting out a tier list. I need to get a tier list out for these heroes. I have an old one out there on the website, but I wanted to go ahead and make a video for it for you today. But anyways, without further ado, let's dig in. Alright, so I suppose first off, what is the exclusive Lucky Pick? Select one of the listed released exclusive heroes, excluding the exclusive hero Kanan. So it looks like Kanan is not going to be on this list, which is fine. I'm still going to put him in there today. They just have him excluded from this exclusive Lucky Pick, which kind of sucks. To receive a 20 times drop rate boost. And you are guaranteed to get them within 200 summons. Now, on the exclusive Lucky Pick, once you hit that hero once, it's just like a limited banner. You basically select your limited exclusive hero and it just turns into that banner essentially. So you hit your 200 summons, you get your exclusive Lucky Pick, 20 times rate up is on the boost. So you have a chance to just keep pulling them if you want to. It's really up to you. Some of you may choose to pull. It's not a bad plan. Assassin's Creed heroes are going to be coming. That being said, you may not want to skip up the opportunity for an exclusive Lucky Pick, but you need to understand too that those Assassin's Creed heroes are a limited event. So when that does come up, you're going to want to pull for that and try to get those heroes the best you can. Once they're gone, they're probably going to be gone. I don't know if they're going to be running it again sometime, just like they kind of did with Dracula. It's really up in the air. Now, we do have our boy here, Corvin, coming up as well as Neja this weekend. So it'd be ideal if you go ahead and do a pity manipulation. I'll probably release more on that tomorrow. Anyways, so how are we going to be doing this? I have built a very cool tool here on the website. It is a limited exclusive tier list maker for exclusive heroes. Essentially, it's not, you don't save anything. It's just for me, for the stream. But it did turn out pretty cool. I'm a big fan of it. This is not built by tier list maker or anything like that. This is on my end. As you can see, it is very, very custom. So I'm just going to kind of go in order of who I think is S to D tier. S, A, B, C, D. Okay, that's going to be the tier lists that we're going to be working with. Obviously, S is going to be elite. A is excellent. B is strong. C is situational, and D is limited. Kind of essentially ranked by how useful they are. Maybe they're elite even in a niche. If they're elite in a niche compared to other exclusives, I'm gonna put them up in the S tier. If they're not very useful and very situational, where, you know, basically it's nice to have them, but you probably won't use them, especially if you have a pretty good roster. All right, so Akira, where are we gonna put Akira? I would say that she's definitely strong. I'd put her beyond strong. Her ability to have like another hero, it's just a really good hero in general. Excellent is probably where I'm going to go ahead and drop her right into that excellent tier. Let's see if I can make this any bigger for you guys. It gets a little weird. All right, so I'm gonna put her right into that A tier. Her abilities as a marksman is pretty darn good. People use her a ton. I'm not gonna make this video. I'm not gonna get too much details on every single hero. We're just going to go ahead and get this tier list completed. Anora, you know, as a mage, I'm gonna say, I think that she's probably still one of the best mages in the game, if not the best, especially an AoE mage. I can't think of another mage that is going to be able to outdo her in any kind of way, and for that reason I think I need to put her into the elite. Getting yourself an Anora is huge. The amount of damage that she can do. There is better mages in certain niche situations, but as far as AoE damage goes, she doesn't need inspiration. She does so much damage, it's not even funny. Yeah, I think that Anora is going to be in an S tier elite. Maybe not the top one, but she's going to be there. All right, so Kanan is not in this exclusive lucky pick as an option, but that doesn't mean I can't place him somewhere. And I think he's going to be a little more niche, but he's going to be very, very good at it. I'm going to put him at the top of the A tier. The amount of damage that he can do on bosses, he's very useful for things like Abyss, APOC 2, APOC 1, any kind of single target enemy. He's just phenomenal. Very good hero. All right, Captain Reeve. Underrated, I want to say. Very, very underrated. The amount of damage that he can do. He is a defender, but if you build him as an AoE, it is very, very strong. He's tanky at the same time. He has control in his kit as well, which can be very useful for a lot of things. I think, though, as the game keeps progressing and more heroes are released, he's definitely going to be even more underrated than he was before. I mean, he's going to be less used and less brought out, and I'm going to put him into a B tier. Still very strong hero. I think that me personally, I have myself a Captain Reeve. He's like Awakened 2, I think, something like that, maybe Awakened 1. And he kind of just, I don't ever place him. So, unfortunately, he's still a very good hero. I do use him in faction trials, and that helps out a lot. Dahlia. People love Dahlia. And people love Dahlia for weird things. A lot of times, it's GVG or something along those lines. Most of these heroes are all very good. I can't think of any of them that are too bad. So when I say some of these heroes is a D tier, they're still very good. Just so you guys know. I think though, I want to put Dahlia. It's either C or D tier. I think I'm going to go with situational. She's a great hero, but her range makes her so weird to use anywhere. It kind of runs into that situation with like Ingrid, kind of, where you have to have a certain position that you can actually place her down, and there's a lot of places in this game that she's not going to be very good at. Faction Trials is awesome. GVG can kind of have a little bit of a role there. Unfortunately, not so much anymore. You don't see her very often. But yeah, if you can get her damage going, you have like a nice line and a tile at the end and a platform that she can sit on, and she's just looking down straight at a straight line at enemies, which is super rare, by the way. She's awesome. If you don't have that, it's kind of is what it is. All right, so Diao Chen. She's S. She's S, and she's probably the #1 limited exclusive hero in the game. The amount of inspiration. The only reason I would ever argue that she may not hold that first position as far as priorities go is because you do have heroes like Beelzebub. You have a lot of inspiration, right? You have Beelzebub, you have Dolores. There's a ton of inspiration units in the game now. And I want to say, yeah, you should get her. And if you have her at Awaken 0, you should still get her Awaken level 1 to get that range boost. As far as the Awakens go beyond that, like the A3 is kind of like a quality of life thing. You don't really need it. There's no reason to really freak out about it. Even be a little more excited about the A2, to be honest with you, for the attack boost. Help her inspiration even more. But yes, she does make life a lot easier. And you can swap her into 2 different modes and do healing. And then you can swap her into a mode that she does more attack boost from inspiration. Falcia. This one's going to tick a lot of you off. It is. I'm going to say that she is probably a D. I don't know. I like the idea of Falcia. When she came out, I was super pumped about this hero. And we didn't have the test servers, or I didn't have access to any test server back then. So all I could do is just speculate on how good she was going to be. And I love the idea of her, right? Kind of like Kanan, you know, switching modes and damage types or whatever. Falcia is able to go from physical damage to magic damage, but she does it constant. So if you're going up against something that isn't immune to either or, or the magic resistance and defense are kind of equal, so your attack equals out, and she can do the equal amount of damage on the magic hit as she does on the physical hit. Yeah, she's really good. She was buffed, and for that reason I think she'd be at the top of the D tier, possibly at the bottom of the C tier. She does have some more use case these days, but I just don't see her played very often, and some of you may use her a ton. And if you use her a ton, I'm messing with your hero, I apologize, but that's just where I have to put her. I'm not a big fan of her anymore. I love the idea of her kit. I love the way it sounds. I just don't like the way she plays, and the results are never what I'd expect them to be, unfortunately. And I don't know a good fix for that, because if you buff it in one way or the other, it just gets too strong. I think they realized that. They tried to buff her a couple of times, and unfortunately it just didn't help enough. The damage reduction is very useful for boss fights. If you are struggling with that, you can bring her into Abyss 1, and she can put that damage reduction on the boss. Same thing with APOC 2, APOC 1. It can fill a very good role, a very useful role. So she does have options. Again, just because she's a D tier doesn't mean she's a bad hero on this list. She's not being compared to the whole roster in the game. She's only being compared to other exclusives, and that kind of limits that a little bit. Gwendolyn, I think I'm going to put her at the top of the C tier. Or actually, I'll put her at the bottom of the B tier. Very unique, very niche, but what she's strong at, she is amazing. The ability to put those massive shields out, this can be coupled with combos that are doing a ton of damage, especially paired like a Valkyra or something like that. Her damage is just phenomenal. Basically, if you put one of her big shields, if you build her right, and you put one of her big shields on your team, right, there's nothing in the game that will kill them in one shot or something like that. They're gonna have to go through those shields, and good luck. The only problem I would say is when her shields do wear off, they do take a bit of time to come back and be able to reapply them again. But obviously that's with most heroes and their ultimates. Very strong hero for what she does. I like Gwendolyn. As far as a healer goes, it's not there. As her utility, it's very, very useful. Kagiri. I'm gonna put him right under Diao Chen. Right there. Above Honora, below Diao Chen, in the S tier. I think there's a lot of misconceived notions about Kagiri lately. When he was released in the game, obviously there wasn't a lot of creators out there talking or amping him up. I was one of them that was. Every single time I tested him out in Apocalypse 2 or Apocalypse 1 or even Nightmare 4, he was just destroying stuff. And then there came the idea that he's not very good in normal PvE content like stages and stuff. I don't know who you're kidding. You do have to have some awakenings on him, I understand, but it's a long-term goal that you can meet eventually. It's kind of like his downfall, is that he needs at least like an A3 to really start showing what he truly is. But he does put out bleeds. He increases everybody's damage. The ability to like AoE content, unless they have a high defense. Typically, if he is going up any mob that I can think of, except for like Gear Raid 124 or something like that, if he does his sweeping strike or ember strike properly against those enemies, it's just an auto delete. AoE style, he goes in, he comes back, he hits them hard, and even on single target bosses. It's not just an AoE hero, he's not just a single target hero, he is both, and he's phenomenal at both of them. I love Kagiri. He is one of my favorites. I even debate putting him under Diao Chen, but I think a lot of people have already spoken that they believe Diao Chen is number one, and I understand the argument, and I think I kind of agree with it these days. All right, so on to Lady Mina. Lady Mina. I'm gonna put her right under Honora. Actually, above Honora. The hero, I think, started out underwhelming, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was underwhelming starting out, received a buff, and then eventually was too strong in Matrix and got a little bit of a nerf The ability to just make immobilize enemies is crazy. The amount of control that she puts out is crazy. And now with that buff that she got, she's doing a load of damage if you build her right. Very, very strong and fun to use. Her range is pretty cool. It has like that, what's her name, Leia style range, and the amount of control that's coming out of there. When you activate her ultimate, she has even more range. Besides the fact that she's a piercer and she can extend that range as well. So very, very strong unit. I love her for most AoE content. And this one's gonna be kind of a funny one. This one is really going to be kind of a funny one. Sorry if my mic was a little low. I think it was turned down. Lust. When Lust came out with Arrogance, right? Lust was a monster. She was breaking numbers that you've never seen before. She was doing things you've never seen before. The Nightmare Squad was never better at the time. And you had your High Awakening Lust, High Awakening Arrogance, and the game has just evolved so much since her release that I think she is actually the worst exclusive in the game at this point. She's still a very good boss fighting hero, don't get me wrong. She is phenomenal at what she does. It's just that she is a DPS unit first and foremost, and her damage isn't there anymore compared to what's out there in the game. Kagiri is one of those examples. Sumu Kong down here is another one. There's a couple of honorable mentions. I think that even Moradin is probably a more useful boss fighter than Lust. Plus the Poison Squad was released. Nastia, Vorn, Numera, all them guys are all just kicking the crap out of Lust's damage. And it's just not there anymore. She does offer some rage gen. She kind of whips around with her whip and like whips the Nightmare Squad on the team. And that makes it so they have more rage gen whenever they're hit. Kind of a weird way of doing things, but you know, it is Lust and that's what she does. She's kind of she needs a buff. She needs a buff. It's just a damage buff. That's all it is. One of the biggest issues I think is that her attack is kind of low, her base attack. I think that hurts her a lot. Everything else is actually pretty decent. Very useful hero still in a lot of stages in the game, so don't get me wrong. If you're missing her, you can go for A0. I wouldn't put too much into it. Moradin. Alright, so Moradin, I'm actually going to put him right under Kaden. Reason being is that he does fit well with the Abyss 1 team, and Abyss 1 is still a very important boss to be taking out every day. It's a very hard boss to take out every day, and that team is very strong in Abyss 1. There's been, again, new teams that have been developed since then, so he still is able to do a significant amount of damage. I'm always happy with Morden on the team, and he's also a tactician. So tacticians, I think as far as exclusives go, definitely get a little bit of a boost on a tier rating just because they can move around and they can be a lot more useful and a lot more content. Sumu Kong. All right, the controversial group, Kagiri, Sumu Kong. He's definitely going to be up in the S tier. Question is where? Does he go above Kagiri or does he go below Kagiri? Here's the thing. A lot of you are going to say he goes above. A lot of you are going to say he goes below. I'm a big Kagiri fan and a lot of content that I care mostly about. Kagiri actually outdoes Sumu Kong. He does have a utility on him as well with his Dispel, the offensive Dispel and things. Sumu Kong has stuns, which are very good. And at the Awaken level 5, he is very strong as well. But just because of my own love, I think these two are so equal. I have to put Kagiri above Sumu Kong and drop Sumu Kong right below him, okay? This is just basically because of my own personal preference, and you guys could flip these two around and I would completely understand it without any question. If you said, I think Sumu Kong is better than Kagiri, that's fine. They're both so close that it is what it is. Isn't really questionable if Diao Chen is better than both those guys. Anyways, so that is the end of the tier list here. As you can see, I am a big fan of Mr. Kagiri. I love this guy. He's a lot of fun to use. Diao Chen Kanan, I think could be argued as an S tier, maybe even above Honora. It really depends on your preferences. He is a really strong tactician and becoming more part of the metas all around, and we're learning more and more about him. So in the future, maybe he can be boosted up. But anyways, that's what I have for a tier list. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you check out prospector.gg. We have tons of tools on this website: hero guides, demon guides, artifacts, gear sets, stage sets, secret achievements lists, BP tier lists, price calculators, pity tracker, knapsack, excavation, Mortius, media gallery. You can even download images from the heroes. I've just made them available for you all. I just don't really care. Request a takeover, quick builds tool, boss stats tool, attack speed calculator. These are more in the premium tools section. If you wouldn't mind, if you want to help support the website, support the channel, and support me in general, if you head over to this premium banner here on the home page, or you can go up here and click upgrade to premium. It's $4.99 a month. It's pretty much just to help support the website, myself, and the channel. And you get a few extra things, and I keep working on more things for in the future for premium members to try to make that worth your time. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for today's video. I've been the Prospector. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep digging.